ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let us chant from number 19. Mayyeva sakalam jatam. Mayyeva sakalam jatam.
मय्येव सकलं जातं
Mayi sarvam pratishthitam.
मयि सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं
Mayi sarvam layam yati.
मयि सर्वं लयं याति
Tad brahmadvayamasmyaham.
तद्ब्रह्माद्वयमस्म्यहम्
Anoraniyanahameva tadvat.
अणोरणीयानहमेव तद्वत्
महानहं विश्वमहं विचित्रम्
महानहं विश्वमहं विचित्रम्
पुरातनोऽहं पुरुषोऽहमीशः
पुरातनोऽहं पुरुषोऽहमीशः
हिरण्मयोऽहं शिवरूपमस्मि
हिरण्मयोऽहं शिवरूपमस्मि
अपाणिपादोऽहमचिन्त्यशक्तिः
अपाणिपादोऽहमचिन्त्यशक्तिः
पश्याम्यचक्षुः शृणोम्यकर्णः
पश्याम्यचक्षुः शृणोम्यकर्णः
अहं विजानामि विविक्तरूपः
अहं विजानामि विविक्तरूपः
न चास्ति वेत्ता मम चित्सदाहम्
न चास्ति वेत्ता मम चित्सदाहम्
वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः
वेदैरनेकैरहमेव वेद्यः
वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्
वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्
न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः
न पुण्यपापे मम नास्ति नाशः
न जन्मदेहेन्द्रियबुद्धिरस्ति
न जन्मदेहेन्द्रियबुद्धिरस्ति
So we started this mantra in the last class. Vedairanekairahameva vedya. I am to be known in all the Vedas or through all the Vedas. I am to be known, he says. Bhagavan says that. So, since many of you are already been studying the Shastram for so many years, I felt this is a good time to understand this process of knowing. And we now have two big realms, domains. One is the domain of science. We we know what science is. Generally, we don't ask the question, what is science? We know what is science, but if you ask me what is science, then I'll get stuck. I can't make a definition. Like we know it like that, okay? We know it like that. Atma also, we know Atma, but if you ask me what is Atma, then I'll get stuck, right? So like that, we know science, and we also know this body of knowledge called Vedas, which which is important for us. And so the question now is, there an intersection between science and Vedas? And the answer can be various things. Yes, there is a small intersection, there is a large intersection, there is no intersection. If there's no intersection, then is there a third domain of knowledge that is needed to fill up this whole body of knowledge called body of knowledge, entire domain of whatever can be known? These things I want us to be crystal clear about. It's a good opportunity to gain more clarity on that. So last time, that is why this discussion about pramANam, because here Bhagavan says, I am the one to be known through the Vedas. So then anybody can ask the question, through science can I know Ishvara? This question can come. Or through Vedas can I know aeronautics? Aeronautics, because people say we flew planes, the Vedas talks about this and that, they say. Important question it is. And when you're standing in a public audience, in the public, when you want to say, you have to know what is what. What is what? That's why people like Narendra Modi and Anand Ranganathan and many people, they all know the history, they all know, they studied the science. Many people who talk, they can't get into the realm of Vedas. They can't really, they may know certain areas very well, but they can't get into this idea of Veda versus science. They won't get into it because it's you need to know a little more. And so last time we talked about pramANam. pramANam. Okay. What is pramANam? We said a means of knowledge is called pramANam. Pramakaranam pramANam. Prama means knowledge. Prama means knowledge. We have a Swamini, her name is Pramananda. Prama means knowledge. Pramakaranam, that which gives rise to knowledge, is called pramANam. Simple, clear definition. And so then means sense organs are a means of collecting data. That's our only source of knowledge. And so if you ask me to guess, I will say, and of course the mind also can be a pramANam. Mind is a pramANam because without mind you can't infer. If you say, oh my God, there is a fire in the mountain there, then when I was in the ashram, I saw that. And even here also, those mountains, once in the evening, I saw it. Once I saw fire with my eyes. Another time, I could only see smoke. And still, I said there is fire in that mountain. Why? You don't see any fire. Well, you don't need to see fire. If you see smoke, you know pretty much the source of smoke has to be fire. So even though you can't see, you can confidently say there is a fire in that forest right in front of your eyes. But to go from there is smoke to there is fire, you need to have a mind, because eyes are not going to report fire. All right. So that's why mind is required. Mind is also a pramana. All right. We saw that. Then we said that Science is an area which involves observation and experiment, and we left it at that. Entire every field we have, there is observation and experiment. Experiment is there to test the repeatability of the laws that you are developing through the observations. What is the use of developing all these laws? Laws of motion. What is the use if you say, you know what? Technically, you are correct. There is no use. There's literally no use of knowing something. The use will come only when you employ those laws. Only when you apply those laws, then only you can say that knowledge has been useful. Until then, it's not useful. That is why, that is why, when a company hires a person, and the person has just graduated and has all these degrees, and so some come Lord, some are come Lord, something like that. They have these phrases in the US. All big is distinction, graduated with distinction from high school and college and all that. And so then, okay, that is all what? It's all jnanam. This man, this boy or girl is just a load of knowledge, and the company is hiring. Is the company hiring this person for what they know? If you ask, the real answer is not for what they know. The real answer is what the person can produce after stepping foot into the company. The guys have predicted, okay, this person can be used in this department, he can do this kinds of work, she can do there, she can be posted here, she is very good at something else, English writing, so we need her help. Now they say AI is doing something. Anyway, that's different now. Every time we say something, we have to correct ourselves also, these days. So they are paying the person for the future output. Simply coming and say, I am Summa cum Lord, distinction, first rank in so and so, it won't help. Why? Because knowledge by itself is not useful. I want to see how you are applying that knowledge in my workplace. That's why I'm hiring. Karma is involved. Knowledge has to be followed by karma. That is the point I'm trying to make. Recipe. Knowledge has to be followed by karma. Applying that recipe, implementing that recipe. Knowledge of nutrition. No use. No use. Absolutely no use. Some people, a person will say smoking is injurious to health, but the guy actually smokes. So that knowledge is not useful to the person. Cigarette boxes have these days the picture of lungs with all kinds of. It's scary to even see that picture. And but he's smoking very well, so he can't give advice to others. He can't give advice, and so that knowledge has not been useful to this person at all. So in science, preface it with in science, that scientific knowledge is not useful unless it is applied in some context. Until then, it just remains knowledge, and that is why we talk about theory and practice. This whole theory practice dichotomy comes from this observation. Unless you practice something, implement something, it remains theory. All right, this is all science. Just keep it aside for a moment. Then we also talked about this Veda pramANam. We talked about means and ends, sadhanam and sadhyam. Okay, we talked about four possibilities, four combinations. The first combination is known ends, known sadhyas, and known means, known sadhanam. Known, they're all known to me. Like everything else we achieve from morning to evening. Every small thing, any big thing you do, it's all coming under that category of known ends and known means. Okay, anything. So, including big things like getting a degree, etc. I know what I want, and I know how to get what I want. This is all clear. Security, family, money, health. I know I want to have good health, and there are so many ways of getting the good health and maintaining the good health. Known stuff. I don't have to reach out to Vedas. I don't have to. It's all there. Knowledge is available right there in front of us. All right. This comes under the first category we discuss. Second category is known ends and then unknown means. Unknown means I don't know certain. I know what I want, but I don't know how to get what I want. Like this, the whole Vedic culture is based on this. I want artha, I want security, I want wealth. No, you can worship Lakshmi. She will bless you with wealth. I want knowledge. Yeah, I have to study, I know that. I have to go to school, I know that. I have to go to college, I know that. But there is one more thing you can do. Worship Saraswati. Let her be your Ishta Devata. I don't know that until somebody told me. Until the Vedas had to tell me. All the religion had to tell me. Good. All these things come under this category. Then we talked about a third category. Things that are unknown to me that I want. That I want. Okay. Unknown. Like punyam. I want punyam. I never knew that there was such a thing called punyam. But now that you told me, my parents told me, and my entire people around me are talking about punyam, there's not a single human being in India who will decline punyam. Maximum they will say, I don't believe in punyam. That they can say. But punyam is there very much in our blood. And I want punyam is also there in our blood. And so that is an unknown thing. But there are a lot of things I do that I know, like helping the people who need help in my society. That's it. That act I know. And if I do it, then I will get something unknown to me. It's called punya. Third category. All right. Fourth category. Unknown sadhyams, unknown sadhanams. Okay. That is also a category there. And here, so again, here also, Swargam, Punyam also, to bring all the things that are unknown to me. And there are unknown means of getting Swargam, which are all the rituals prescribed by the Vedas. And Upasanams. In Kathopanishad, we saw Nachiketagni, unknown means. Unknown means it is not there in the Veda. Unknown means until I open the Veda, I will not know it. That is the meaning of this unknown. Veda is required. Unknown means what? By yourself you can't figure out. Science alone cannot tell me all these things. Science itself has to just look at it and say, they can't do anything about it. You know why they can't do? They can't disprove it also. The guy who doesn't believe in all these things is also stuck because the person can't disprove it. That is the dilemma. Neither can I prove it nor can I disprove it. That's the category. Fourth category. Not fourth. Anything the Veda says comes in that category. So fourth category. Unknown means unknown ends. We saw this. I'm just summarizing the discussion we had. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. Okay. And so we saw that things have to be put in practice. Recipe book is there. It has to be put in practice in our laukika, in our vyavahara. Okay. Otherwise, it's just theory. Theory is recipe book. Practice is cooking. Actually going to the kitchen and cooking. Lime juice. Many people don't know how to make lime juice because it's not easy to make good lime juice. Either you'll put too much salt or too much sugar or something will happen. You can't drink it. You try it once. If you have never tried it, try it once. You can't drink it. Guarantee. I can guarantee it. Okay, I experienced it. Then I said, my God, lime juice is not easy to make. I said, how much salt, how much sugar for this much, one tumbler of water, how much to put? Only by trial and error you will get it. Then suddenly they say sugar is not good for you. Then you replace sugar with jaggery. Then you put jaggery and say then something is wrong again. You have to relearn the whole process. This is how it is. Then Like this, simple mathematics book is there, algebra book, no use at all unless you apply it. Day to day we apply our knowledge of mathematics constantly. Without our knowledge we are applying it. Theory, practice. And so this category is called what I gain through this application of what I know is called apraptasya praptihi. This word also I introduced last time. I'm repeating it for a reason because it's very important. Apraptasya prapti. Let's see it. Praptihi means the gain of, attainment of, accomplishment of what? Apraptasya. Praptasya means that which is gained. Now, that which is gained, I don't have to gain. Apraptasya, that which is not yet gained. Accomplishment of the not yet accomplished. Gaining the not yet gained is called apraptasya praptihi. Now, some of you are going to laugh at this and say, what kind of phrases? You invented a phrase. Your acharyas are wasting time inventing phrases for things that don't need any invention. That is where this Vedanta people come in and have a last laugh, as they say. Last laugh. Some few weeks ago, somebody said in class, this man came and said, in my family, I have the last word. Uh-huh. What is that? Yes. Yes, it seems. He's always saying yes to his wife, it seems. That is last word. And then he said, do you know, men are good in agriculture. I said, what? Men are good in agriculture? Yeah, they are good in agreeing. Agriculture it is. So I said, this is just a joke, that's all. So like that, apraptasya praptihi is science comes under that. Our entire vyavahara comes under that. Laukika vyavahara. All right. And one more word you have to use here. Knowledge is there. Science gives me knowledge, or just basic Vyavahara gives me knowledge. My parents have been teaching me, my friends have been teaching me. So, just by observing, I know a lot of things. I don't have to go to school, but I do gain knowledge. Without saying, I gain knowledge. And then I have to apply it. And this application is where free will is involved, obviously. That is what we call karma. You have to do karma. And that is called, I have to do, until I do something, knowledge remains knowledge. Remains theory. And that doing part comes from what is called puruSha tantram. puruSha tantram. I've said these things before, I'm just repeating it. Because we are putting all the pieces together today. Today, literally today. puruSha tantram means what? Hey, it is centered on the human being. Karma is centered on the human being. When you come to my house, please leave the shoes there. Now you have to follow the thing. You have to say, okay, I leave it there. I leave it further outside. Also, I can leave it. Okay. When we in India, when they come right outside the house itself, they will leave. Then we have to say, no, no, it's okay. You can come inside and leave it here. Like that, we have to give these kinds of instructions. So now there is something to be done, and how it should be done, the host has to say, and so the instructions are followed. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyata kartum shakyam, Shankaracharya says. This is the definition of karma and puruSha tantram. Means what? Kartum shakyam. You can do it. Akartum shakyam. You can say, I won't do it. Or anyatha kartum shakyam. You can say, you can do it differently. Differently. And once puruSha tantram comes, once karma starts coming, suddenly there is variety. Variety. What do you mean by variety? In knowledge, there is no variety. 2 plus 3 is equal to what? If I ask you to write down what is 2 plus 3, in a piece of paper and show me the piece of paper, I will see only one number. Why? No variety is there. No variety. In knowledge, there is no variety. But suppose I ask you to draw a human heart. 60 seconds I will give you. Draw a human heart on a piece of paper. Now, I'll see variety. There are 29 people here. 29 varieties will be there. Why? Because karma was involved. Even though knowledge is the same, karma was involved, and now there is going to be 29 different pictures. Somebody will draw a heart, somebody will put some valves next to it, somebody may also add some drops of blood, somebody may put arrow marks there, somebody may also put a human frame around this human heart. Somebody forgottenly put it on the right side, because we are not thinking every day getting up in the morning, my heart is on the left side like that. Somewhere we learnt. Otherwise we don't remember all these things. We don't remember. So this is called variety. Why variety? Variety is there when karma gets into the picture. Variety will be there. Variety in karma, therefore variety in karma phalam. Very simple. Okay. And so, or if I ask you, make an airplane, here is a sheet of paper, make an airplane with it, like we used to do in school. A variety will be there. Some short airplanes with broad wings you will do. Some people will do this long airplane with sharp tip. Some people do a long airplane with a blunt tip, something like that. Variety will be there. You understand this. Now, it is, that is called vastutantram. That is called puruSha tantram, centered on the human being. Karma, karma phalam, variety, all these things go together. Suppose I ask you what is. Okay, see, so this is not focusing properly. I don't know why. So I ask you, what is this? Wait a minute. I think I know what the problem is. Wait. We're going to continue. Suppose I show you this and say, what is this? What is this? If I ask you, that is there in my hand. There's going to be only one answer. There are not going to be 29 answers, correct? Some of you may say red pen, some of you blue pen, some variety will be there. But pen is going to be the answer. Pen. Why? You all have free will. puruSha tantram. Free will means karma is involved, and karma means variety should be there. Why should all of you say this is a pen? You don't, freedom, hai? That to America, there is even more freedom, they say. So America should create more freedom in this class. Guruji, no. In these matters, there is no freedom. In which matters there is no freedom? In matters of jnanam, there is no freedom. And when I ask you what is this, we are talking not karma, we are getting into the domain of knowledge. And in the domain of knowledge, it is not puruSha tantram. You surrender to what? Your pramANams. And you completely surrender to the pramANam, and you are forced to say what this object is. What this object is. And when you say, I am forced to say what this object is, it is called vastutantram, because this object is called a vastu. Centered on the object. Knowledge is centered on the object. That's it. Jnanam vastutantram. Jnanam is not centered on me. My degree may be centered on me. Even there, when somebody probes me into what all I did, what all I know, then they figure out that that's why they have interviews. And their resume is not enough. Then really this guy knows, or he's just saying he knows. How much puruSha tantram was involved in this kind of vastu tantram? Okay, vastu tantram. Resume is vastu tantram. Degrees are all vastu tantram. But how much puruSha tantram was there behind this vastu tantram? That is the interview process. All right. These are all basics of Vedanta, but we don't. We are able to confidently talk like this because we are all not basic students. And so now go back to this apraptasya praptihi. Wherever karma is involved, it results, whatever result I get is apraptasya praptihi. I get what I don't have. Now, I already have a car. Means if you go buy another car, you will have a second car. Okay, that's also aprapta. Second car is apraptasya prapti. First car is praptam. All right, you all understand that. Now we are talking about an area in Vedanta, let's say. Vedanta also, now we've been studying, we are talking about a topic called moksha. Artha, kama, and dharma, I don't need Vedanta. That security and pleasure and ethics and punyam papam, that I'm getting every day anyway. I'm getting more dharmic as I know more and more about dharma. I lead a more ethical life, and it gives me fulfillment. Even though leading an ethical life is not easy, need not be, it can be easy, need not be easy. I have to go through a lot of inconvenience, but I'm ready. With maturity, I'm with the inconvenience I go after, even because I'm going to get punyam from that. It is not right anymore to cut corners. This kind of idea is there. All I don't need Vedanta for all these things. That is all there. Punyam Papam Veda, no doubt. But still, when we are talking about Vedanta, the thing about Vedanta is Advaita Vedanta, the moksha that we are talking is not apraptasya praptihi. It is not an accomplishment of the not yet accomplished, if I say. It should not be a shock for you because you are all advanced students. It is the gaining of the already gained, already established, already existing. And how can you gain that which you already have if you say? It's very obvious. The famous example recently, our Swami Brahma Prajnanandaji gave the example. I will repeat it again. This man invited everybody for a party at home. Okay, party at home. And how many of you attended the Swamiji's talk? Okay, yeah, half of you, maybe more than half of you. All right. So the party was going on in the night, music and all blaring, and it's all you know what party it is. Lot of liquids are being drunk in that party, and then this guy, the host says, "Okay, guys," he says, "Somebody take me home. I want to go home." And everybody's perplexed. I mean, if if they are not drunk, they will be perplexed. Let me put it that way also. Otherwise, where is the question of this perplexity? Is there only for the sane person who is sitting and struggling with their things in life. Otherwise, there is no perplexity at all, no confusion. I am all good. I am all fine. And he says, I want to go home. Take me home. But at least he is sane enough to say, take me home. I can't drive. Abba, that much sanity he has. In America, there is a famous thing: don't drink and drive. And some catchy phrases they have like that. So then these people are confused, and one person, they try to tell him, hey, you are in your house, etc. He said, wait, let go, don't bother me, take me home. Do you understand what I'm saying or not? Take me home. In what language do you want me to tell you? Take me home. Then one friend realized the problem. Realize the problem. Now there's no point arguing with this man. And so he's the guy who's not that drunk in this whole group. And he says, okay, I'll take you home. Come, let's go. Yes, chalo. And makes him sit in his car and starts the car or vehicle, whatever, starts the car and then takes him out. and then goes around, has chit chat, this, that, etc. Goes around for a few minutes, and some chat going on, 5 minutes, even 10 minutes, and then suddenly he says, "No, now take a right here." Okay, take a right there. No, 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 you should not go straight. You should take. And then guess what? This man showed the directions to come to his own home. And then they came back home, and then he's home. And then he says, thank you, Vivek, for getting me home. Thank you. Now tell me. Now tell me, is this apraptasya praptihi or praptasya praptihi? This is my question to you. It looks like apraptasya praptihi, but it is all praptasya praptihi. What is all this going out, coming, and then going in a car, having a chat, and then discussing, and then this and that? That is what we call karma yoga. We have a technical word in Vedanta for it. It's called karma yoga. It's all just calming down and coming back to our senses. Antakarna shuddhihi. This is what we call. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Guru seva. Okay. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Do namaskara to your guru and do seva to your guru. All that. This is all driving is all that only. Because that is it. Therefore, all right, Vedanta. Vedanta is now what? Knowing who you already are. You are not going to be any different than what you are. Swarupa anyway, Atma. So that Atma is what you are, and that is not going to change. I must know that I am complete. Like this inebriated guy. It's inebriated is a sophisticated way of saying drunk guy. That's all it is. Okay. In certain circles you cannot use the word drunk and all. You should say you should know, should say, a little English. Inebriated, if they say, everybody understands. Okay, in one of the programs we were organizing in Houston, raising funds for Swamiji, and we had a speaker, many people were speaking, and the Lata came and told me, Jaikumar, he's inebriated. And then I understood. Fortunately, I knew what that word was. And so, it means what? We have to, is there any need for readjustment? So, like this guy, he's already in his home, but he wants to go home. Unique problem it is. It is a problem, no doubt. And a problem, an average person cannot solve this problem. Cannot solve the problem. So that is why we have this category called praptasya praptihi. There are situations where you already have what you want, but you don't know that you have what you want. And then you will make a conclusion that I want it. And the it is right here. All right. That's all we are going to talk about this. And so for this, how do you solve this problem? How do you solve a problem that does not exist, if you ask? That is Vedanta. Entire Vedanta. All these classes I've been attending Vedanta classes since 1996. Going on still. Okay, it's not going to end anytime soon. And so the purpose of all of that is to solve this problem that does not exist. Correct? It's beautiful. It's beautiful because it's the culmination of a human journey, the long journey, it culminates. And so, and how do you solve this problem? Not by karma. Even though it looks like a lot of karma is involved, this guy did go on a big ride. Karma, it's all karma only. Going on a ride is karma. It looks like there's a lot of karma involved, but that is all for antakarna shuddhi. That is all preparatory, really speaking. To simply understand the statement, hey, you are already in your home. Previously, he could not understand it. Previously, he rubbished it off. If he understood it, he rubbished it off. It can't be true. How can it be true? Like that he's saying. And so, Therefore, how do you, since now knowledge alone is involved, karma is not involved, it does not fall in that theory practice domain dichotomy called science or laukika jnanam, laukika activity. It doesn't fall in that vyavahara. Then what category it falls under? It falls under this apraptasya prapti, I mean praptasya praptihi category. And what, it's knowledge based now. Knowledge means you need a pramanam. What kind of pramanams? Can I use the pramanams that I have at my disposal? No. Pramanams that I have at my disposal, namely my sense organs and my mind, are all paranchikani vitinanat swayambhuhu katopanishad. They're all very good. They're all directed outwards. Shankaracharya uses the example na chidra ghatodara sthita mahadhipa prabhavaswaram. He says, imagine put in a pot that is closed, put a lamp underneath, inside the pot, covered up, inverted pot, covered up, and then make 5 holes in it, 6 holes, any number of holes you want, that pramanas you have. And then now you're going to see 5, 6, 7 beams of light. And those beams of light illuminate their own domains. That is what science is. Science is great at probing and probing and probing and probing, going further and further and further. Things that I can perceive. That is why observation, in the definition of science itself, it is there. Observation and experiment and conclusion. What about the lamp that is sitting right here? Who is going to observe this lamp? Is lamp not required? Yeah, it is required. Without lamp, no illumination is going to happen. Vedanta is the study of this lamp called Atma. Okay. Science is the study of Anatma. But it is studying the mind also. Yeah, mind also is Anatma. All these fine things about the what about psychology? Is it? Psychology is the study of the mind and the processes. And so, neurology is the study of mental processes, some other mental processes. Yeah, it's all anatma only. Good. So, therefore, what pramanam is needed if I can't use these pramanas I have? It is called Shabda Pramanam. It is called Veda Pramanam. It is a different pramanam than perception and inference. It is a mirror of words. It is like standing in front of a mirror and suddenly looking at yourself and learning about yourself, which you already are. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to go anywhere by looking at the mirror other than to just know who you are. Okay. Therefore, that is called Shabda Pramanam. Just like now I have to go to a different example. Dashamaha. Dashamastvamasi. The 10th man story, all of you know that 10th man. Just like the minute, not even the minute, the second, not even the second, the microsecond, this person heard, Dashamastvamasi, you are the 10th man. Suddenly, the sorrow disappeared in his head. This sobbing, crying person is now beaming, beaming. The tears have all dried up, beaming. What did he have to do? Did he have to swim the ocean 10 times? Did he have to do some Shirashasana and other asanas before he could remove his sadness? No. Why? Because that is the power of words. Dashamastamasi. That's it. Game is over at that point. Praptasya praptihi. Gaining of what is already gained. This guy was never lost to begin with. And he says, I have a problem. Yeah. This is called solving a problem that does not exist. That is the category. Vedanta falls in that category. Okay. And that is why we keep saying that adhikaritvam is important for the study. Means a preparedness is required to be able to accept these words of the Shastram. to be able to understand that there is a problem called praptasya praptihi problem, which is different from apraptasya praptihi problem. Karma is involved in apraptasya praptihi. Karma is not involved in praptasya praptihi. So, therefore, now, if I can make you draw, excuse me, we're going to summarize our discussion by drawing a table. Those of you who are making notes and all that, draw a table. This table is going to have about 8 or 9 rows. You need space, about 9 rows space, and then your page width. 4 columns will be there, equal width columns. Draw a table which is this big. Guruji, can you show a PowerPoint? Can you show a slide and share it with us? Hey, aren't you guys tired of PowerPoints? I'm trying to make this class as interesting as possible, and you're asking me for a PowerPoint? Just enjoy this. I mean, nobody's going to give this kind of a talk. Go to any corporate. They start with PowerPoint. That's it. Over. Anyway, we have a video conference. And what video is there? There's no video. There's only a slide there. What video conference are you talking about? I used to do 30 years back, I used to do PowerPoint. Did I also? You're doing PowerPoint. What is the difference? I thought science has become more advanced now. Anyway, you draw that table which has about 10, 12 rows and then which has 4 columns. We are going to go row by row. Okay, don't worry. Title, you are going to write. First column, say parameter, for lack of a better word. Second column title is going to be science. Third column title is going to be Veda within brackets Karma Kanda. Fourth column is going to be Veda or Veda within brackets Jnana Kanda or Vedanta. Fourth column is Vedanta, which is Jnana Kanda. You all know these things. Because Veda is divided into 2 sections, One is talking about apraptasya praptihi, that is karma kandam, doing karma to achieve results. Okay. And then there is Vedanta, which is talking about praptasya praptihi. All right. The first row after the heading row is the topic of analysis, the domain of analysis. Let's say topic of analysis. You can change these words later. What is the topic that science talks about? If I ask you, I will say, you can say universe and all that, but that's not correct because universe includes Atma, you also. I will say Anatma. For now, we are going to say Anatma. Next, Karma Kanda. What is the topic of Karma Kanda? Atma or Anatma, if you say, you have to say Anatma. Fearlessly, you should say Anatma. Because we'll come to more things. Anatma, just write it down. Vedanta, topic is not Anatma at all. It is Atma. All right. We'll take it slowly. Next row. Parameter. Tools slash pramANam.
Guruji,
Tools
would you mind
slash.
repeating the first row one more time before you move forward?
First row, topic of analysis, science anatma, karma kanda anatma, jnana kanda atma. Good to go? Yeah, good to go. Next topic is tools slash pramANam. Science. Science. Pratyaksha, anumana. Means what? Perception, inference. And reasoning. Inference automatically means reasoning. So you can say pratyaksha, anumana, tarka. Tarka means logic, reasoning. I mean, I came up with this table, so words can be different. This is not like somebody wrote it and I know. Last night I just came up with this table. You can discuss it. Very useful. All right. Now, by this is loaded statement. It means what is the pramANam? All my sense organs as the pramANam comes under this cell. sense organs, mind also comes under this thing. What about karma kanda? Can you say pratyaksha? Can you say anumanam? No, you can, and buddhi, you can't say all that because you can't figure out. Punyam, where is the question of punyam? If I do anushtanam every day, I will get punyam. There's no chance, we cannot figure it out. Therefore, pratyaksha, anumana, tarka is useless. It is not, this is not the domain where these things can be applied. What should you say? Shabda pramanam or Veda pramanam. Purely somebody tells you it is there, and we blindly believe. If you say, okay, blindly believe only, you can't do better. You can't do better than this. All right. You can't do better than this means you can't disprove it. That is what we are saying. A scientist has the option of refuting anything. And the scientist can say, I don't believe in this. You are doing Sandhya Vandanam every morning. It's a waste of time. 15 minutes, you are wasting your time, he says. I'm saying it has a lot of things. Pranayama is involved in it. Dhyanam is involved in this. Why? Because the Gayatri Japa is involved in it. There is Drishta Palam for all these things. Dhyanam will give me Drishta Palam. Right now I see a benefit. And Shastram says many more things. It is all there. How can you disprove the Drishta Palam? You can't disprove, first of all, because I'm a proof, living proof of what I'm doing. Adrishta Palam, Shastram says, how are you going to disprove Adrishta Palam? Because punyam, you need to observe punyam in order to disprove it. Science is observation and experiment. I can't even observe punyam. Anyway, all that back in the background, all these things go. Okay, karma kanda, shabda pramanam, jnana kanda, shabda pramanam. Second row is complete by doing what? Pratyaksha, anumana, tarka, shabda pramanam, shabda pramanam. The topic being tools/pramanam. Third topic, okay, goal. Goal, goal. What is the goal of this science? We know purusharthas. Now we guys are experts at purusharthas. Artha, kama, dharma and moksha. Is moksha, can it be a goal of science? The answer must be no. No chance. So remove moksha. So that leaves us artha, kama and dharma. Now I can even argue dharma is not a goal of science at all. For years the science was growing. Then the business school, they were just doing things, and they were exploiting the universe, and the companies were doing all these unethical practices. Ethics had to become a topic in business school. What happened? The scientists did not know that ethics is important. No, they knew ethics is important, but it is not part of the science domain at all. So I didn't put dharma in this category. I just put artha and kama. That's it. Because ethics can't be observed. Somebody says it is right, another person will say it is wrong. That's it, gone. You can't come to a conclusion. So dharma, dharma is interpreted, therefore it is constantly debatable. Okay. One child pricking the another child with a needle is adharma. You have to tell the child it's not possible. How will it be if I pinch you? And the child has to be told. Whereas the same nurse can use the same needle and poke you with her syringe, and you don't complain. You don't give her a lecture on dharma in the hospital, in the clinic. Don't you know, lady? No, you don't say that. Why? Dharma, there it is dharma. Same act, but different interpretation. So here, goal is artha and kama, and karma kanda. Artha, this one, kama and dharma. Big part. Dharma steps in. Will moksha step in? We will leave moksha out for now. Otherwise, we'll get this a big discussion. It will become of Vishishta, Dvaita, Dvaita, this, that, everything will come. You leave moksha out for now. Where will you put moksha? Last column, Vedanta, Jnana Kanda, you have to put moksha there. Artha and Kama, no, not interested in. Adhikari is the ready. The Adhikari is the person who is studying Vedanta. Adhikari knows what Artha is, Kama is. They knows what he needs Artha, Kama also. Artha is required for everybody until the last day, last breath. But you don't need Vedanta for that. Third row is over. Fourth row. So third row is what? Goal, Artha Kama, then Artha Kama Dharma, and last is Moksha. Good. Fourth row. Means to accomplish, or just means. Means to accomplish these goals. What are the means to accomplish these goals? Column 1, science, karma. For our purposes, we are saying karma. Second, third, this karma kanda column, karma. Karma. Even dhyanam is a karma, it's an act. Anything else you do, you have to do karma. Because artha and kama are karma phalam. Therefore, dharma also is karma phalam. Therefore, karma is required. Why karma? Because it is puruSha tantram. It is centered on me, and I am the guy who does. I am the karta, and therefore puruSha tantram. Therefore, karma is the means to accomplish. What about Vedanta? Karma is not a means to accomplish. Why? Because you are not solving a real problem, really speaking. You are only knowing that you are at home. And that is knowing is jnanam. Therefore, you put the word jnanam in the last column in this row. So, means is what? Karma, karma, jnanam. Next, we have 10 minutes. I hope we'll finish this. Nature of the goal. Nature of the goal. Look at this. Nature of the goal. What is the nature of the goal? Anityam. You can translate it later. Impermanent. Next, karma kanda. Nature of the goal. Anityam. Artha, kama and dharma. Anityam only. Impermanent. Last column. Nityam. This is not difficult. Next row. A Sanskrit name for the process. Process. You can just say process. I wrote here Sanskrit name for the process because somewhere else English name is coming up. Okay, Sanskrit name for the process. What is the name of the process? Now you know. Okay, I'll give you. Yama taught us what the name is, and it is called prayas. Karma kanda column prayas. Same thing. Jnana kanda column shreyas. Another row with the same Sanskrit names, different Sanskrit names I'm going to give you. Another row. Now we are moving to the next row. After prayas, shreyas, another row. It is called pravrittihi.
Is that the
Technical word.
parameter?
No, not parameter. Now under science it is pravritti. Sanskrit name for the process. Another set of Sanskrit names. Science is pravritti. Karma kanda is pravritti. And guess what jnanam is? Vedanta is. It is called nivritti. That is why we name our daughter Nivritti, not pravritti. That is why we name our son Shreyas, not Prayas. Now you understand. I want to be cute. This Nivritti name is very common. I want to call our daughter Pravritti. This cuteness doesn't work in this area because we don't know. We have no idea what is going on, why our rishis have said what they said. So this creativity, this form, we have to be careful about that creativity. Next row, nature of accomplishment. Nature of accomplishment. Again, two rows for this, two rows. In this first row, we are going to say sadhyam. Sadhyam means what? Accomplishable. Accomplishable is called sadhyam. The next under karma kanda also sadhyam. That which can be accomplished. And guess what? You're going to have for Vedanta column, you're going to have siddham or siddham. A siddham is enough. Siddham. Already accomplished. Siddham. Very important words in the Vedanta, I'm telling you. Okay, sadhyam, sadhyam, siddham. Next, the row below it, for the same nature of accomplishment, you're going to say what? Apraptasya praptihi, apraptasya praptihi, praptasya praptihi. That is the nature of accomplishment. Got it? You may have to come up with some acronyms and all. Next row, I'm moving on. Nature of fulfillment.
No, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, Mahesh ji is always there 1 minute. And so I'll tell you what it is. Sadhyam, sadhyam, siddham. Apraptasya praptihi, apraptasya praptihi, praptasya praptihi. Good. So Mahesh ji, can I move forward?
Sure.
Okay. Next row, nature of fulfillment. All right, we actually covered it. I just realized we covered it. Anyway, temporary, temporary, permanent. Now, this is good. Nature of fulfillment is good because we are always seeking fulfillment, and the fulfillment is going to be temporary for science, temporary for karma kanda, permanent for jnana kandam. Good. This is a legitimate row to have. So, can I move on, Mahesh ji?
Go ahead, please.
Give me a signal. Yeah. Next, English name of the process. Okay. Scientific. Because science column, scientific. And then karma kanda, religious. Jnana kandam, spiritual within quotes. Ready for the next and the last row?
Yes.
Scientific. Parameter is scientific, question mark. Is this scientific? Is the question we are asking. Is that column scientific? Is science scientific? Of course, yes. First, science must be yes. Science. What question you're asking? Is science scientific? Yeah, science is scientific. Karma kanda, if I ask, is karma kanda scientific? Hey, I told you already, this punya papam is not observable. Okay? When you can't observe, the question of science itself doesn't come. You have to just throw your hands and say, walk away from this whole thing. And so, this artha, kama, and dharma that the karma kanda gives me is not in the domain of science. Therefore, scientific, the answer should be no. Should be no. Not observable, therefore not provable, and therefore you can only say I don't believe in it. That's it, and then walk away from this. This is all no. This is all not in my area. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in God. Okay, that's fine. You are welcome to do that, but it is not scientific. All right, karma. This jnana kanda, scientific. Not scientific. You know what? Even though pursuit is Atma, Atma is not observable. When you can't observe Atma, Adresham, Agrahyam, Agotram, Avarnam, Achakshushotram. If you want, you can go back and review the Mundaka mantra. If you have any doubts about what I'm saying, Achakshushotram, Tadapani Padam, Nityam Vibhum Sarvagatam Susukshmam. Tadavyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. Dhiraha paripashyanti, that which is not observable, the dhiraha pashyanti, they observe. Means they know. So here also the answer is no. For this row called scientific, the answer is no. Now we have come a long way. We've come a long way. I'm telling you, you keep this table in front of you somewhere, and periodically we have this table accessible. This is a culmination of years and years of study, correct? You can't simply throw this paper there and PowerPoint and say, look, this is all Vedas and Vedanta. You can't do that. So much knowledge is involved to come to this point. And since you've been studying for so many years, I brought it up. And some of you are new. That is fine. New people also are grasping what is being said. But they can look at it periodically. Therefore, now, if the question, are Vedas scientific? Well, Vedas is equal to Karma Kanda plus Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda also not scientific. Jnana Kanda also not scientific. Therefore, the answer to the question, are Vedas scientific, is emphatic no. Without blinking your eyelid, you should say no. Then there is a big question. Follow-up will come. My God, you're saying Veda is not scientific? Is it unscientific? This question will come. Let it come. Let it come. Without batting your eyelid, you should say the realm of science is anatma, the realm of Veda is atma, or the realm of Vedanta is atma. Okay, there is a realm of karma Veda which is also anatma, all right, but it doesn't come under your purview. You should be able to argue like that. And therefore, you can say, when I say Vedanta is not scientific or Veda is not scientific, I will also add Vedanta is rational. Maybe you mean rational when you say scientific. That I can accept. Yeah, Vedanta has to be rational. That is why it has not been refuted after so many millennia and millennia. Otherwise, many Nobel Prize winners are there. They couldn't come anywhere close. Why? They couldn't come close. Is it because they are trying and couldn't come close? No, they can't even try. Why? Because that Atma is not there in their purview at all. It is like asking, is biology mathematical? Suppose I ask you that question. Did anybody ask you this question? Did they ask you, is mathematics biological? Why you should not ask the question? I'm just asking you the question. Or is neurology pathological? Is botany geological? If I ask these questions, you'll wonder. You will have to tell me, Guruji, these are all wrong questions. Why these are wrong questions? That is because there is no intersection between these topics that you are talking about. Is square circular? Is circle rectangular? If I ask you, you can ask, you're welcome to ask, but there is no answer to this question because there is no intersection between what you're talking about. Intersection is zero. That is how it is. And therefore, this question, the eagerness to prove that the Vedas are scientific is very much there among all our Hindus. They're just they're excited about Vedas. And so they also end up saying Vedas are scientific. That means what? There is a wrong assumption. Number one, there is a wrong assumption that science covers everything. Okay, there is a wrong assumption that the Vedas can prove everything the science talks about. No, Vedas are not obligated to prove everything science talks about. In fact, if Vedas say something that science talks about, we don't call it proof. We call it arthavadaha, repetition, validation of what the science says. We don't say Vedas, you can't use Veda as a pramANam to say that, what is the example I gave? Agnihi himasya bheshajam. Heat is an antidote for ice or cold. That is, you don't need Vedas for that. Second point. Third point is what? Eagerness to demonstrate, to show that Vedas had the last word on everything. Vedas need not have the last word on everything. We have to be comfortable with that. That is not the purpose of Vedas. Correct? Fourth reason. An eagerness to disprove some of what Vedas says. That also you should put. Some people want to somehow find a way and say Vedas is wrong. Look, you are saying Veda is Shruti and all. Your Shruti is wrong. Shruti cannot be wrong. Why? Its a realm is Atma, its realm is Punya Papa and all. There is no question of proving it or disproving it. You can't prove it, you can't disprove it. You can't prove Punarjanma, you can't disprove Punarjanma. No, some books people have written, I remember the past life and all. Let them write. That is not pramANam for us. Suppose I tell you, I got a dream last night that in the past Janma, okay, I was a farmer in Orissa. Suppose I say, I come to this one is there. What's his name? Arun is there. Arun is from Orissa. What will you do? Okay, you may accept that I had that dream. Give it to me. Guruji said it. It's true. But how can you use that as a pramANam? Who said dream? Everything that comes in dream is pramANam. It's a bunch of lies. And I dreamt I was in Orissa in the last Janma. That's about it. You can't use it as pramANam. So like this, all kinds of stories abound. And the last fifth point there is the reason for asking the question, are Vedas scientific, is that a wrong assumption that science answers or will answer all the questions the human being has. Correct? Therefore, this is the summary. I still have a few more things to say and connect it with what Yama said, etc. Time is up here. So we will just conclude those thoughts in the next class and round it out to a point where all of you can say, yes, I am now crystal clear about Vedas, which has Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda and science. I know exactly where they stand. Like that, you should be able to say. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.